Hello, 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 and welcome. I like I found out I had an applause button, y'all. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to Beauty Pioneers. I am Coach Lee, Hair Coach Lee, and today we are talking about skills. And one of the skills that we are talking about is hair cutting. Now, I just recently did a live on um not a live, but I just did a recording for tomorrow's on Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist about um, hair cutting. And of course, I told everyone to tune in here because here is where we're going to expound more, talk about uh, this, about cutting and the not necessarily just the fundamentals. It's like helping you find your look, making sure that that hairstylist understands the haircutting and the what the foundation of it means, and how important that haircut is, because believe it or not, the haircut is actually giving you your look. Okay, that's real important to understand. Your look is important when you go and get a haircut. That is basically what it's giving. Like right now, everybody is doing the, hold on real quick, is that down there? No. Okay, right now everybody is doing, like, I see the trend is the bob, which I love the bob. Kelly Rowland rocks the bob and it looks so great on her. However, not all of us look great in bobs. I am one, I can tell you personally, I don't look good in bobs at all. Only bob I look good in is like this here, where I part that and then it's more hair on the side, like a concave, short, graduated bob. That may look nice on me, more sophisticated. But for the most part, the long bob that comes here, it's not attractive because I have that longer extra chin there that I got from, I think, my dad's side. So with that being said, we of course are we're gonna show some videos, and we're kind of gonna be like the devil's advocate, guys. We're going to talk about some of the hairstyles and make our clients aware of the hairstyles that they should that their hairstylist should know. Some of the key things that you would know if your hairstylist knows how to get that look and cut that hair for you. It's a lot of hairstylists that know how to cut commercial hair, but not a lot of them know how to cut your hair. And the reason why a lot of time, of course, is that you're not wearing your hair, right? So, oh, okay. I don't even know who's it was. I don't even have a snap. Somebody just said you gotta do Snapchat. I'm like, I know Snapchat. Hold on. So yeah, that is really, really important. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start. I'm not sure where Don is, but y'all know the show must go on. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Hold on. Let's go into these videos real quick. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so I want to point out, y'all know I always do the what do I call it? The back at the ranch type, the drama in the hair salons hairdo. So this is one I thought was kind of cute and I wanted to post it or whatever. And I did it on my video as well. Thank you. So this is what happens when you go in for a cut and that person don't know what they're doing to your hair, right? They don't know how to cut. So what I was saying earlier, a lot of the regular hairstylists, or maybe they're not licensed or they did not go to school. That's why it's important when you hear people say, oh girl, you can get a specialty license. Yeah, you can get a specialty license in braiding. You can get a specialty license in shampooing. You can do different things or whatever. But the reason why cosmetology is so much important, because it's everything in one. It's a whole world. We can do, we talked about this, nails, skin. We can be estheticians. We can do braids. We can do whatever. That's our field, right? Because we have the license of that. So a lot of times, a lot of you that go and get your 16-hour braiding or whatever course that you take, what happens is you know how to cut that commercial hair. You know how to get the razor, and you know how to do that outer layer cut. And then when you go to curl that hair, it's like it looks fabulous. It's like, girl, look at that. You see that? It tossed over because that's all you're doing. You don't understand the skills or the techniques behind that to in order to not just get that look, but when those curls fall, you still need to have a certain style to that look, right? So, for instance, when you see them and they showing you in the quick weave and they got the long hair and it's beveled out. Well, when that hair gets old, if it's not curled, it looks crazy because it's not actually a professional cut. It doesn't have any structure. It doesn't have any flow to it. It's just outer layer cut. Now, one of the great things that you as a hairstylist should know is point cutting, especially when it comes to point cutting or notching, when it comes to layered looks. So they're not going to give you that. That razor is just going to take off as much as it can, and it's going to give you that feathered look, right? But you want that hairstyle to look like it did when you left the salon, at least as close as possible. But you're really not going to get it because a lot of our hairstylists, when you go into those suites or whatever, and those women that just do the quick weave, women and men that just do quick weaves and lace wigs, they're only going to cut your hair with that razor, which cutting a razor cut on short hair, I have seen it done on someone's other's actual hair. It is fabulous. But if you notice, they will cut that way. Why? Because of the simple fact that they don't know how to do a diamond cut. There's four, I think it's four different kind of layer cuts. You have the diamond cut, you have the uniform cut that gives you layers. You also have, hold on, you also have, I don't see you. Dawn says she's here. I don't see her. Hold on. Um, you also have that, right? So you have uniform, you have diamond cut, you have um, increased layers, right? And you also have this one more I'm missing. One more I'm missing. Diamond, increase. I'm gonna remember it. But those are different types of layers. You never see, I'm gonna be honest, for the most part, I never really see hairstylists doing that. They're not going through your hair, they're not sectioning your hair, they're not giving you clean sections. So when they're cutting the hair, everything is evened out. They can't even take the hair and bring it forward to make sure that the hair is evened out. So basically, they just doing the layers there, they're doing the layers there. Do you know when you're cutting, you first have to have a guide? So that is major to have a guide. And a lot of us don't see that. Now, why am I talking about skills and why are we talking about hair cutting and what is the big deal? You know what I mean, Coach Lee, about cutting hair. Let me tell you how big of a deal it is. And I know I always bring this up. Rihanna. Rihanna was always a pretty girl, always beautiful. She got those gorgeous eyes, right? She started out with the umbrella. I think she had the bob cut. She went from long, she had a long layered hair look, right? You could tell she was still trying to find herself. Then she went to the bob with I think, an umbrella, and she looked really nice on that. But when she came out with the mohawk, it was her. It was her look. She owned it. And you saw the other side of Rihanna. You saw her not being apologetic. She was like, either you like it or you don't. She embraced her sexuality. It was a whole different person, right? So that is a very, very big key point. Um, Hold on. Because Dawn says she's here, but I don't see her. So that is one of the biggest reasons. When you look at Kelly Rowland, And everybody like, she looks great with her long hair extensions, right? She looks great with her long weaves. She looks great with um her short cuts. I've seen her with her short pixie cut wigs or whatnot. But her look, and she knows it is because that's the one you see her the most with, is the wig, is the bob. Right now they're calling it the hold on. They're calling it the give me a second, guys. They're calling it the Kelly Rowland bob, right? Hold on. It's ridiculous. Yes. Okay, come on, send. All right. Oh, hope this thing ain't go out. Did it go out? Good, good, good. Sorry, guys. I had to send it to her. Okay, so anyway, so she wears that bob because that is her look. And it fits her. It don't matter what color she does. If she does blonde, whatever she does, it's her look and she owns it, right? And so for you, when you decide to cut your hair, and a lot of you have, right? It is important that that hairstylist understand and knows what fits and what your look is. I have a client that she reminds me of Keke Palmer, and she was like a color that is a certain color she likes, and I was like, you actually found your look because Keke Palmer was the copper red, and her personality is similar to Keke Palmer. Am I saying is it Palmer? I think it's Palmer. So her thing is similar to that as well. So guess what? She understands her look. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go on. And hopefully Dawn will get that together. Sorry guys about that. So let's go now. We're gonna go into some of the videos. I was trying to hold off so we can get Dawn acclimated, and we have been working on her logging on, but for whatever reason it is. Oh, I think there she goes. Whoop, whoop. Ooh, hello.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're
You
still
look
kind of
cute.
low, same reaction, but I'm here.
You look cute, honey. I see you over
Likewise, I can't really see here.
there. We can hear you. Can hear us though, right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the videos real quick. All right, we're gonna start because I was telling them about Kelly Rowland and the cuts, and I was saying the importance of. I just opened it up with the importance of, um, of understanding how important a cut is. So just making the foundation of that, you know what I mean? Even when you get in color, a cut is important to your whole look. So we're gonna start off with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop up a video. Okay, Miss Dawn, you hear us? You with
Yes,
us?
dear.
I love the look, honey. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. Likewise.
Woo! Okay, so we're gonna start off with the bob, child, since I was talking about it.
I have been sitting here crying for 30 minutes. All I wanted was a bob. All I wanted was a bob.
God forgive me. Lord, remember that you used to be young and you be like, Lord, God forgive me. She said, all I wanted was a bob. And that's something I was talking about, Don, and I know you can expound on it more, that you see in our culture right now, especially in our beauty world when it comes to Black women or whatever. We do a lot of commercial hair. A lot of hairstylists do commercial hair that may not be licensed. And so they always razor cut and do that outer layer thing, or they play with it, razor it some more, and then they curl the hair and they give it that the big bevel curls and it looks glamorous. But when the curls is gone, the hair kind of look crazy because they don't really know how to cut it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no technique to it. They just
Oh my God, what happened? Hello?
yes.
Hey,
Why you added 2 times?
can you hear me?
Yes. What is going on, Don? One of y'all gonna have to get off the stage. All right. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Oh no. All right.
Okay.
Can you hear us? Lord. All right. So we're gonna go to the next video. Do you want to expound on the video that we just posted?
Um, this video was based on her trying to cut her hair herself.
No, that was a hairstylist. She was sitting in a hairstylist chair.
I think when the haircut goes wrong, there's a miscommunication between the client and the stylist.
Is it really? Is it
Yeah,
miscommunication?
absolutely. When there are false expectations, you know what I mean? I don't think the client. I couldn't actually hear the complete video. TikTok, I had to sign into TikTok in order to get the full video.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but based on hearing what it is that you were saying, I think when the haircut doesn't come out as the client desired, it was a miscommunication between the client and the stylist. Because first of all, the haircut is based on, does the client have any hair in the top? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what her final goal was in terms of this haircut, where she was going with it, but clearly she wasn't happy. Maybe it was a bob and she thought she had more coverage in the front for it, you know what I mean, from what I can see. But I couldn't really hear the video, so it
It
kind of
looked like
might be
let me play it again
not
because
able to give a great analysis.
let me play it again because it looked like she cut it on natural hair. It looked like she cut it on the natural hair, and it looked like I want to just see real quick if she was in a salon, someone's chair though. I think. Hold on.
I have been sitting here crying for 30 minutes. All I wanted was a bob. All I wanted was a bob.
Don, you was right. She cut her own hair because the caption says when you try to cut your own hair.
Okay.
Oh my God. Y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop going to YouTube university and get it together.
Yes.
It remind me, like, I don't know if you know, because we work in a diverse salon. Remember them girls that come in there and they be trying to cut their bangs?
Yes.
I became a bangologist. I could cut a bang with my eyes closed because them young girls used to be tearing them bangs up. Now, if they ain't cut too much, I could, work with it. I'll go in there and I'll, notch it out a lot, you know what I'm saying, to give it more shape and then just blend the outer, make some outer layers or whatever the case may be. But if it was choppy chop, I'd be like, baby, you just put this clip in hair in till your bangs grow back. You know what I mean? So let's go to the next one. Hold on.
This is exactly why I understand when a client is coming in asking if this palm colored person can do the hair, because
Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry.
Child, all I know is don't go to Ulta to get your pixie done. So I'm really excited. Decided to be cheap and get my hair done at Ulta. This is her just curling my hair. No mo, nothing. This is what I got. This is what I got. Mind y'all, this is what I asked her for. This was the inspo picture. This is me. And then after that, I was like, this just looks too big, just too up there. And she proceeds to like flat iron it at that point. And then she was like, oh, you want me to just mold you? Shouldn't that have been done in the first place? Like, y'all.
Okay.
That was a hairstylist. And that was Ulta. I'm glad that happened though, because she said I would decide to be cheap and go get, because I'm gonna tell you, for a wash and style, it starts at $30 in there in Ulta, because I used to work in Ulta. So it starts like $35. So the girl actually did right. She like cut it and just blow dried it in, and then what's called. But her being black, she should have known better. She should have known that you need to mold the hair or whatever the case may be. They had that girl out there looking like she was a bus driver, something like that. That young girl looked like she was about 48 years old with that hair. I said, Lord help us. So when I look at that style, I can tell, one, from the style that she pointed out, that she needed more graduation, more 45-degree angle, right? It was too much hair at the top, and I knew it wasn't evened out. I know it wasn't like cut at a 90-degree angle. It was like you can pay attention and see that. And so this is the point of, and I'm curious to know, like in beauty school, like you went to Miami Lakes, that was predominantly black, right?
It was mixed.
It was mixed. Did they,
Yes.
how long was y'all
Can you
educate,
please turn that down?
how was it for the for your how long did they teach you guys on haircut? Because like we had to learn clipper cut first. We had to learn different things first before we could do anything.
It was a part of the My Lady curriculum. So, however way the My Lady cosmetology book was structured at that time, that's what they gave us. So, haircutting was, it was is in the cosmetology book, the basis of it. And I think a lot of times when we go in and take haircutting, they don't tell us that you need to have advanced or continued education classes when it comes to haircutting. You need continued education classes when it comes to the overall craft, but you really need to take specific classes to hone your skills in terms of haircutting. Black, white, green, purple, orange, alien hair. You have to be, the theory of cutting does not change, right? How you style the hair is what comes into play. Okay, if I have a African American client, she has a relaxer in her hair. She wants curls in her hair after we mold her down. So we mold her down in a straight state, right? And then we have to go in and place curls. That's a design. That's a total different level of skill set to place structured curls within the hair. First of all, the cut needs to be cut in the hair. That design needs to be cut in the hair. When you curl hair that's cut correctly, it falls in place. Right? You can pick it up and put a curling wand in it, a Marcel in it, an electric curling iron in it, a roll brush, right? And it will still give you the desired curl if the cut is correctly if the hair is cut correctly.
Right.
So the support of the style is solely determined on the haircut. This young lady's haircut was not cut in that style. She was cut to be molded down. She wasn't cut to go in and put rollers in because she had no shape or no form.
Mm,
So a lot of times we want to create a style, but it doesn't have a foundation. It has no form, and the haircut places the design in the hair,
right.
right? Just like a bob, just like a pixie, just like a layered cut. You know, they all have a purpose, which is the desired style, the end result.
I like that you brought that out because I remember when I had a video up, but it had music on it, so I couldn't play it. But I remember, like, it is still going on now, where they cut their hair real low and they put the bleach on it and they bleach their hair, and then they started saying, you know what? I used to hate this look where they just put a blob of bleach at the top of the hair. You know what I'm talking about? They put a bunch of bleach on the hair. It's no highlight, no low light, nothing. It's just like a block of color, and then they'll put a color on it, and then they'll try to style it. It never looked good to me because, like you said, the color has to have texture. It has to have some type of structure, some type of formality as you're going along. So it need to have dimensions in it. That's why if you're gonna do your hair blonde, put some low lights in it. People only hear about highlights, but there's low lights that you can put in it to bring in more dimension and different things like that. Or you can do different colors as well. You understand what I'm saying? Like when fall comes, you do a little bit of the chocolate reds or the coppers and all those different things that you can implement that gives you more of not just variety, but just beauty. You know what I'm saying? Just texture and things like that. Give me one sec, y'all. Sorry. So that is like something that what you was talking about just now, like she had no nothing in her hair, so it's no type of structure. So let's go to the next one. Hold on. And by the way, let's go ahead and give Donna applause. Girl, I forgot I had these little like things on it. I was like, oh yes, there's stuff to play with. Oh Lord. Give me strength. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Let me see the next one. Oh, we saw that one. We saw that one.
Come with me to get my boneless, meatless, skinless hair chopped.
What can you do with this?
Well, not exactly chopped, but taken care of, enough for it to look like it's healthy again. I went to Mia at the hair studio so she can go ahead and treat my hair, do a deep conditioner, style it, and trim it. Now, as you can see, my hair is boneless, meatless, and skinless, but that's not going to be for long. I've had fine, thin hair since I came out of the womb, so it's difficult to make it look thicker, but we always can make our hair look healthy. If you have fine, thin hair, you already know the struggle. Please let me know down below. I'm not alone. Mia still makes me feel good about my hair, even though I know I have not been taking care of it. Hair. Typically, I'm the girl that's going to cut my hair off. You can cut my hair down to the bone, but this time I said, let me see if we can grow her out a little bit. We went as short as possible, but we left enough for me to be able to do my next protective style because, girl, you can take the hair off the girl, but you can't take the girl off the hair. Spring and summer is coming around, and I want to have fun with my hair. So we're going to be trying some protective styles while taking care of our natural hair. Let me know how your hair journey is going.
Her hair had shape. She had shape.
What would you do to someone that has fine hair like that?
A roller set.
Would you add
roller sets are great for roller sets and waves, pin curls. Those types of styles are great for people with thin hair. A lot of time they tend to, back in the day, they would tease their hair. They would spray product in it that would coat the hair, that will allow it to create volume. That's where the hairspray and stuff came in at back in the day, to give us that volume, that 80s hair. Remember that that what's called Farrah Fawcett layers, and that those bouffants and stuff like that we would have. So I think what was I saying?
Didn't they perm their hair? Didn't they put perm in the hair? The Caucasian women put perms when they had fine hair.
Yeah, perms, but remember on fine hair, they place curls in their hair. Okay,
Right.
so a perm is when you place a curl pattern in the hair. The hair is already straight, and you go ahead and you put a permanent curl in the hair. The relaxer is a relaxer. It's not a perm. So we tend
Right.
we tend to mix it up. They'll come in the salon and say, "Well, I want a perm," and it's like, "What do you want, a curly perm?" I'm like, no, 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 I don't want a curly perm. I want my a perm. I want my hair straight. Some cultures call it, they want the cream, or they call it the creamy crack. You know, the culture picks up different terminology for uh, certain services, but the correct term is a relaxer. You know, I want a relaxer. So what type of relaxer? Mild, medium, super. So the strength of the relaxer is determined based on the texture of the client's hair and the integrity of the client's hair, and of course the end result, which is the desired style and how you can safely take them there. But we tend to implement not the correct style for the service. And I think that's where the breakage and all these different things come into play. Like you go in and I had a client, she would come and she had this shortcut and she wanted to put the curls in it. And I'm like, okay, we putting the relaxer in to take the curl pattern out. Now
Right.
you want me to put the curl pattern back in with the heated implement, which is temporary, right? So the style can last you for a week, right? And
Right.
the reality is this: there's no style that's going to last you a week. And I
Right.
think what we don't realize as consumers when we ask for certain styles, the end result. Because if I go in and curl and put these curls back in your hair, in order for the
Mhm.
curl to stay, I have to put a finishing product on it, right?
Right.
So that's the spritz or a pomade or whatever we need to hold the curl. So when the client goes home and shower or go to sleep or tie their hair up, they're not looking at their head from the back. Those curls aren't the same. Wherever you wrap that hair and lay down, those curls are like smashed in on the side and in the back. And I'm like, it's not a realistic style. It's not cute. You didn't see your hair from the back. You didn't see your hair from the side. You just see it from the front, and you just like take the comb and you just rake those little curls and stuff down. Whereas the style would look a whole lot better if you just left it soft,
Right.
right? You leave it soft, place the pin curls in there without making the style itself hard. And you kind of, fluff it and make it work throughout the week as opposed to making it a helmet style from when you leave the salon. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I think for me, I probably would have offered her some tape extensions, like something that's not like tight on her hair, because her hair is fine, to give her more fullness, and just to
Yes.
put it in and cut it, to give her more like a movement. And I think one of the important things that we learned was that when it's fine hair, to always point cut, to give it some like wispiness, because you see how her hair just kind of went, because it I don't know, for some reason at a certain length, when it's fine like that, it always have like this little limp to it, no matter, you know what I'm saying, like, because it's at one, when it's at one level. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I have to show you what I mean, what I'm saying that. But one of the things they taught us in school is that to do, like when you're doing the haircut, is to just, so it can have some movement and it can look more fuller when they have layers, like to offer them more of layers and highlights in it if you can. But in her case, I could tell that's not what she wanted. And the way her hair had fallen, if she just would have had a couple of pieces in there and just to give her more fullness at that, you know what I'm saying, at the bottom, because her hair wasn't so fine that you could see her scalp. So it would have blended in really, really nice to me. That's what I would have done. Maybe a layered cut, a layer at the top, and at the bottom leave it at one level and just have it layered where she can toss it. Because when she did that to it like that, that's what I would have offered? Like
Yeah,
give
her
her
hair was limp. It was limp. It had no
structure. Don't
it had no bounce to it. And
right.
when the hair is limp and thin, horizontal layers give the hair weight. So
Right.
it will give it more of a heavier feel or appearance
Mm-hmm.
going in with horizontal lines for her haircut,
Mm.
as opposed to going in and giving her a haircut with vertical lines, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much layers, but
More
there are
I,
layers with horizontal lines as opposed to layers with vertical lines, because vertical lines distribute weight,
right.
horizontal lines create weight. So when the hair is thin, going in with a horizontal placement within the hair will give her the illusion of a fuller, thicker head of hair. People
Mm-hmm.
with thin hair, when you have to be careful with the extensions that we
Mm-hmm.
go in and place on them, because remember, if they're thin already, the extensions have weight. What you suggested was like the tape in is great because it's a lighter,
Lightweight.
softer lay or
Yeah.
install. Is there isn't
Right.
much tension. There's just that you're just marrying the strands, on the hair. So the tape ins would be a great alternative in terms of adding volume to her hair
Mm-hmm.
with I would say a wave pattern, because the wave pattern is going to give the bounce and the fullness that she needs, as opposed to going in with like uh um a straight tape in. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Something with more of a body wave or something
Or
like that, that's
yeah.
going to give her volume, as opposed, because you can see her hair is naturally limp.
Right. And the reason why I said that that's what I would do too is because I used to work in the salon. That's where I was introduced to the tape extensions. And a lot,
Yes.
especially like the Caucasian women, a lot of them have fine hair. You know what I mean? And so they hate their hair. It's straight. It doesn't hold a curl. So we would and I had one lady, she was really, really fine. Like really, really fine. So we would add it to the bottom, not to the bottom, like from the mid down, and give her the length that she want. Well, it was more of a texture, like you said, body wave. And then I
Mm-hmm.
would layer it in and then put the highlights in and blend it on in really, really nice. So you can't tell with their extensions, which you're right, the lighter the weight, because those extensions are so lightweight, you know what
Heavy.
I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
you have to be cautious too, because when you putting those on, they can't wear them so long. That's why they got to come in and get them maintenance, because when they hang, they tend to pull on the hair as well, like the weight of the hair as the hair is growing out. It kind of pulls on the weight, so they have to come in and get the maintenance done. But that's why I was saying that with her hair. I was like, man. And you know what hair that I find that so many, I don't know if you ever ran into this, Don, when they have cotton hair. They hate they cotton hair. I remember I used to have clients and they used to be like, "Can you run the relaxer through my hair?" And I'm like, this is not a virgin relaxer. You just had a virgin. You just had that ran through your hair." Yeah, but my texture, it won't change. And I have to tell them that is your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That is your DNA. Some women just hate their hair. Like they're not gonna stop wearing wigs or weaves because they don't like the texture of their hair. And one of them is that cotton hair. That cotton hair, they don't like it. I'm like, you can run relaxer through it all you want. That's your texture. You understand what I'm saying? They are fried up and everything. All right, so we're gonna go to another one. Hold on real quick. We just did that one, and let me see what this one is. This was interesting.
TikTok's gonna say I should cut it right there, but that's too short. I'm not gonna do that to it. We'll start in the inside and see what the inside's doing. You're not bald. You got hair still. Look at that. You can see me through it. That's a lot. Go back up here where I'm supposed to be. You hear that? That's ends. Ooh, I love that. It's so good. Not bad. Sometimes it's better to go slow, meaning a few haircuts as opposed to just chop it off. Because I heard her say once she graduates, she want to bob. So that don't sound like today, right? Which means you gotta go slow. Because if I chop you off right here, you're gonna have a piece of a heart attack, baby. Right? Yeah, so I do it every few months. Come back sometime in the summer. And when you do your conditioner, run it through the ends. Shampoo is for the scalp, conditioner is for the hair. Shampoo the scalp, and it'll run through the hair and clean the hair, condition the hair. So run it through your ends really good so it can start to moisturize them. You thought I was gonna cut you short, huh?
Um, this I understand the concept that this young lady is trying to execute. I understand her theory behind how she's cutting. Um, her she's all over the place in terms of her haircut. Yes, the crown of the hair, I understand where she started as her starting point was to start on the crown because the crown of the head determines the haircut. Because if had she started to the bottom, she may have lost the actual length, if that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? So her cutting or cutting a guideline, so to speak, at the crown area and using that as her guide as she did her vertical lines going down to connect, kind of kept the weight or the length in the hair. And then the little flyaways that she had at the bottom, of course, no strand is equal to the next. We all have a variation of strands in our hair. So her cleaning up those split ends that were kind of like peeking out, I understand that, because those are kind of hard to curl. They're kind of hard to lay down. So it's like trimming a tree. Like, let me just get these off because they're really not serving any purpose. So it gives it kind of a more formal or easy flow to the design. I didn't, and then of course she goes out and clean up the outer perimeter in order to give it like a solid weight line. But she's kind of like all over the place, and I could see her missing some areas, but the back area had a lot of breakage. So her crown area, she kind of left it alone so it will give the appearance of not so much breakage. But as she lifted the hair to cut it at the top, you can see all those strands just like falling off. So the lower area from the mid area down to the nape, it was very, very thin and sparsely. So I can see the kind of cut design where her method of cutting to kind of preserve the overall, so her hair wouldn't look so chopped, if that makes sense.
I think she did. Remember, I told you, I said, Dawn, you need to do hair cutting because I get so annoyed with that cutting. The first thing they do is grab that centered part like she did and cut, right? And if she would have had more structure, when you cut it like that, when you all over the place,
Yeah.
you probably need to section out stuff. You need to have
Mm-hmm.
a consultation with the client and say, listen, you have a lot of split ends. How much hair do you want off? Because it was real bad. She had a lot of split ends. Her hair was healthy and nice, but she had all these split ends. And I'm looking at this lady. I'm like, you gonna be there all night trying to trim up all these split ends. To me personally, she should have sectioned the hair. But I see this is like a lot of hairstylists, Don, that's an automatic red flag. They don't know how to cut hair. When I see you just grabbing hair and cutting and grabbing hair and cutting and just grabbing hair from everywhere. And then I said, what you gonna do with the front? She didn't even touch the front really. I said, well, what the front look like? You understand what I'm saying? So you're cutting and I applaud her because she doing her thing. She was flowing. She felt like she was doing her thing or whatever the case may be. But this is a lot of hairstyle. This is why I was telling them earlier. I said a lot of them know how to cut the commercial hair because you just taking a razor and you just, and when you see the layers, you're like, okay, it's good. But when it comes to cutting someone's hair, and you have to be very frank with them and say, listen, you have a lot of split ends. I'm gonna do a layer cut. I'm gonna do maybe I would have done a diamond cut, brought it all up to the top and cut it so I can keep the length. And then I would have told her I gotta really go in here and layer it because at the bottom, your perimeter, it actually needs to be cut up a little bit high. Like, I don't know. I would have did the consultation and explained to her and see where she wanted to go with it. If she didn't want to and she was willing to live with the split ends, then that would have been fine. But the fact that this lady, she cut and she kept going to the same spot, cutting the same length of hair, and she was missing spots. I'm like, ma'am, don't cut that again because you got it. We got that part, but it's all down here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I said, at least try to blend it, like bring it out. You know what I'm saying? Do the 90 degree. I don't know. Do the 90 degree or whatever you need to do. But ma'am, please. Oh, this young lady says, I don't know if Don saw this. Deke 5295 say, hey ma'am, what do y'all think about that nasty hairstylist who went viral saying those terrible things to her client, question mark, question mark. I actually did a video on it, and I felt like it was a lot of ego. It basically, Don, I know you didn't see it, but the video was about the client hair was really bad damage. I think she hadn't cut her hair in maybe 3 years. I think she was saying, or a year. She hadn't cut her hair, so she had a lot of split ends. I can't remember everything. Maybe this person can, make me abreast of it, but I know it was damaged really, really bad. The way she was communicating was bad. Like she didn't have the skills or whatever, and she just like she was like, I should buzzer cut you, like the lady, you know what I'm saying? So she was telling her what she should do. She was talking real crazy. Me personally, I thought that she was way out of line with that, and I wouldn't even put that on video because I was like, I hope that's not how she talked to her other clients. But apparently so. I think that she thought that this was going to be like a good viral for her, but in essence, it turned on her because she was clowning her client, and I'm glad that I don't think she showed her face, but she was clowning the lady instead of, you know what I'm saying, being like, listen, it's a lot, or whatever the case may be. What she was saying, she was right about. She was right what she was saying. Like it was a lot of splitting. I don't know if she had weed. I can't remember the whole thing because I think it's like a month ago. But I definitely did not agree with how she was talking to the client. I did not agree with her putting it on video like that. I felt like that type of situation, when you know that the client here is in a bad bad predicament, and you know you got to do some things to it, that's a private conversation between you and that client, so you can allow them to be able to, speak freely. That's an intimate moment. So I think that intimate moment, she took it and she did the worst that she could do. I think it's called, I think it was 701 or something, the name of the salon or whatever. But what she was saying, she was actually right. Like she was like, you haven't cut. I think it was between 1 to 3 years. She had a lot of split, and some people were saying, oh, her hair looked healthy looking, and what I'm seeing as a licensed cosmetologist, she did need some stuff done to it. She did a lot. She needed some work done to it, but it was how she carried the message that offended so many people. That's just my take on it. I wonder if I even got the video. Let me see if I got the video so I can see. Hold on. But with this other young lady here that did the cut, I thought it was good that she had a lot of confidence in herself, and she went in and she was cutting the hair or whatever. However, I did not agree with her cutting structure. There was no, like Don was saying earlier, there's no structure. There was no guide. She had like 10 different guides going on. She was like, the guide there, then she did a guide, then she dropped from up here and she went down there. She was like, this is a guide. And then she took the hair and she flipped it up to a certain angle and made another guide. So it was a lot of guides going around. And one of the key points in being a person to cut hair is you have to have a guide. The guide is it's just gonna flow. It's going to flow. And when you're doing certain type of haircuts, like a short pixie cut or a fantail cut or whatever the case may be, a shag or whatever, you have to section that hair off so you can cut it in its the way it should be cut, so it can fall the way it needs to fall. So that's just my point of view. I'm trying to see if this was it. Hold on, y'all. Don, let me see if you can see this. Hold
Okay,
on.
maybe if y'all hear it from a hairstylist, y'all will better understand. But we are braiders. We ask y'all to come wash and
have your hair washed, blow dry, flat.
I don't think I have it on this one. Yeah, I don't think I have it on this one, but it was really, really bad. She was talking down to the lady, like, you know what I'm saying? The lady was like, the lady was trying to make light of it, and then she had to come back and say, oh, the client wasn't upset. I said, child, please. I would have been upset because it was just disrespectful the way she did that thing. But in essence, Don, I want you to, what do you say what do you see in the beauty world when it comes to cutting? Because I know you said a few things, but what is it that you see in the beauty world, especially with our black women and men in the hair industry, you being a a true pioneer. You know, you doing not just you've been in every arena. So what do you see that needs to be done today, and how could, and do you offer anything yourself as far as that goes? Do you offer anything to help? Do you have continuing education? What do you offer?
I offer continued education classes in terms of skill development. I
Mhm.
think as a stylist, we can't evolve in the beauty industry if we don't invest in ourselves and invest in our skill set. As a professional for over 35 years, I've always been involved in skill development in terms of if I didn't know how to do a haircut or when I say a haircut, cutting fundamentals. When you get the concept of cutting, you have to take a class for that. That's not something that the school teaches you. They give you the chapter on hair cutting. They'll have you to pull out a mannequin and probably do a straight line cut or something like that. But they're not going to give you. They give you the foundation of cutting, but not necessarily the concept of cutting, if that makes sense. So the student, when they come out of beauty school, if they don't take a cutting class, they won't know how to marry that information into the practical. They won't be able to merge it because we don't have a practical exam here where we implement the theory, right? The
Right.
practical is a written exam. So we have no way of executing the haircut in the form of what the school teaches us. So this is why continued education is so important, and a lot of us drop the ball, and that's why you kind of see the fall off in the industry because no one invests in those types of skill development. Then
Right.
because it's a initiative thing, right? You have to take it upon yourself to say, hey, I need to improve. So you have to humble yourself to
Mm-hmm.
say, I need to improve in this particular area. Then you have to seek out help to help you advance. Now you take that information and back to the salon and execute it, right? But you
Right.
can't execute it on your client. You have to execute it on your mannequin. You have to
Right.
perfect it on your mannequin before you execute this particular style or execution on a actual paying client. So all the steps that's needed to elevate in the craft and evolve, a lot of the new stylists and don't want to do that. They don't want to do the work. I know how to melt this lace and put it on, and that's it. They don't have the fundamentals to take that lace and make it dance or make it perform. All those celebrities that you see on the red carpet, the stylists that do the work already have a structure. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? They're just elevating they're just taking their skill set and putting it on the celebrity. The celebrity is the moose. The celebrity is carrying out the elevated vision of the stylist. You know what I mean? We're elevating your brand based on this, that, and the next. And it starts from the head, from their haircut,
Right.
straight, straight through. So the execution, great stylists, they can cut hair.
Right.
They can cut hair, they can color hair. So I think when we tend to fall off or people tend to fall off or out of the game in the industry, it's because we don't really put back into ourselves, and you are gonna max out.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? I just thought about what you're saying, Cardi B. They've been showing like little clips of her on TikTok. And she got all these different looks. She got the blue hair, you know what I'm saying? But she got it more
Mm-hmm.
glamorous. Like I remember when Nicki Minaj had it, she had half color, half this. Uh, Cardi B, this round, the stylist was doing more of a like storm, like almost like a superhero, but she a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like she had the big white streaks or the big blue streaks of highlights right here in the front, and then it beveled over. But the cut was nice, and I was like, you know what? I appreciate it. I don't know who that hairstylist is, because those are nothing but wigs, right? That Cardi B is wearing. Those are her show wigs, but they do a really good job of making it look practical, like it's her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Because this one, it was more short and it had the texture in it, and it was a bob. It was more, but a real full and dramatic, which I could appreciate. I was like, I pay when I'm watching that stuff, even though she funny to me. I'm actually watching, seeing what the stylists are doing, what they doing with her hair, how her nails, like how they putting all this stuff together. Because we love that stuff, Don. We believe in doing the whole makeover thing or whatnot as well. So I just kind of appreciate to see a stylist that taking those colors, because I think one, she had white hair or gray hair, or it was black and then it was blue, and then she had a blue outfit on, but it didn't look tacky. I don't know how to explain
Mm-hmm.
it. It still looked glamorous, and the one thing I can say, it looked like it was hers, and because it had a good cut and it had a good color to it. So shout out to that hairstylist as well. Do you have any last words, my dear, before we go ahead and sign off?
Oh, that's our time. That
That
was
is,
quick.
you think it was quick?
Yeah.
Girl, not to
You
me.
know that last outfit that you sent me? I think that would be great for the PGA, for the resort. That's the nice flowy goddess
Yeah,
cream look that you sent. The
yeah,
last outfit.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think that would be great. And I think we should still move forward with the floral lace
Yeah,
combination.
yeah. I like, I'm a flowy girl. I like couture, I'm a couture, or I like chiffon, like
Mm-hmm.
flowy, very feminine and very, girly and soft and stuff like that. So
Yes.
when I saw it, but I was like, I'm not trying, what my whole setup was, but anything that caught my eye, I'm like, I gotta get it. I was like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
nice one, but that's why I sent it to you. But you came back. I said she done came back and I thought about it, child. She done sat down and I ate and said, let me look at this thing again.
I love it. I love I love the fall and the flow. You know, the it's just that touching the ground scene that would probably have to be uh on, like a beach, but it's just a
Yeah,
soft girl lounge. It's a summer fit.
yeah,
It's
and
very resort wear, you know.
that's a good photo shoot though. That's a good photo where we was at and on that beach. That would have been perfect for that. That would have just been
Yes.
for me for like fun.
Straight
It wasn't
Palm Beach.
right. Straight Palm Beach. Off the shoulder dress up under it. When you was asking, I said, "Oh, off the shoulder dress up under," because it just kind of like make that softness or whatever, and leave it at that. It's
Yes.
any dress, so you can still see the legs and everything. But I thought that was
Yeah, like
very,
a tube halter.
yes, 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 yes. You own it. You own it. So we're gonna see, honey. I got so much other stuff going on right now. I'm like, child, please just pray that the other stuff get here and it come out good. So, and I can't wait for my makeover and my whole different look, child. Let me see what
Yes.
you're gonna do, Don. Let me see what you're gonna do.
I'm excited.
Girl, you killing it today with the black and white though. I must
Oh, well,
say.
thank
I
you.
I like this neck thing. What's going on here? What is that? That's like what? What are
This was gifted to me from Classy Couture. It's a boutique. She she was a vendor at in Naples at the Naples retreat, and she
uh
gifted this to me, and I wore it like once, and I was like, I need something else for this pinstripe, because I wore it before, but I'm like, I need to wake it up and
right,
stuff
right.
like that. So I was like, this is perfect. So I put it on right quick just to give it a little oof oof for tonight.
I like
But thank
that.
you very much. It's a what you call it?
What is it?
Beaded
A brooch. It's a brooch.
it's a necklace. It's a choker.
Ah,
Yeah,
I like it.
it's a choker, a tassel choker with embezzled star, 3 stars on it.
See that right there? You just can't just make that up. For y'all who be, trying to steal people, look, you got to be able to carry it all the way through. You got to be able to do that every
I'm a
day.
pearl girl.
You're a pearl girl. So I
Yes.
just love the whole look. That is so Dawn right there. And with the
Thank
glasses and
you.
everything and the whole little when you put that on, it
Oh
kind
yeah,
of,
my do-rag.
yeah, the do-rag Rihanna had on her pink. Remember the pink with the pink? And she said she can't outdo me in my outfit. So kind of remember she had the hat on and it come down like yours. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't look nothing like it, but it's structured. It's like a jewel. She had a jewel do rag like on.
Okay.
It was real cute. I'm gonna see you a picture of it. But anyway, guys, we will see you next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. sharp.
I love that leopard.
I felt like something, and you know what? I know I'm not even a leopard person. I was like, you know what? let's try to get outside of the box, because especially when I be wearing my little coat, I was like, I really like white. I had on all white again. I was like, Lisa, you just had on all white last week, so put your leopard on, whatever they say.
Yes.
But
Nice and
it drives me
professional.
crazy. I'm not a print person. If you really pay attention, I'm not really a print person. Like how you got stripes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It
Oh, I
it
love
drives.
pinstripes.
Yeah,
I have a closet full.
if you ever pay attention, I'm normally wearing like solids and like
Uh-huh.
maybe a cool shoe or something. But like anything like this, after a while, I get a headache. I'm like, I'm over it. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But I tried it today. It's going off as soon as I hit. Anyway, love you guys. See you next time.
Good
Make sure you go
night.
to Beauty Pioneers, like, share, and subscribe. Smooches.